Good Monday evening, everybody. David Paul here with you in the KHOU 11 Weather Center. We have a very busy week of weather. Not only do we have rain chances that will ramp up as we head toward the middle part of the week, we've got a warm up underway, but we also are watching the potential for winter weather this coming weekend. Now, it looks likely we will see temperatures drop down to near or below freezing this weekend. The question is, will it coincide with precipitation that could interact with that cold air and give us at least a chance for a little bit of ice or sleet here in the Houston area? So we'll go over all of that, but that's what we're looking at this week. And if you have plans this weekend, stay really close to the forecast with us, especially if you think you're going to be traveling across Texas this weekend. North on I-45, you get closer to Dallas. North on I-35, you get closer to Waco to Dallas. There could be significant icing on the roadways there. The I-20 corridor across North Texas could be heavily impacted, especially from Dallas to Shreveport. So that's what we're looking at as we head to the end of the week and the weekend. In the meantime, here's the setup. Now, this is where we stand right now in the upper levels. We looked at this all last week, talked about our Hudson Bay low. That body of water right there is Hudson Bay. When low pressure in the mid and upper levels gets stuck here, it tends to give us shot after shot of cold air coming out of Canada, is following that flow to the south and into the United States. And that's exactly where we stay as we head into this week, with the cold weather pattern dominated by the Hudson Bay low. That's the cold weather pattern for the U.S. So cold air in place. And then this little area of low pressure looks rather innocent out here over the Pacific right now. This is where we stand on Monday. But this will slowly work its way into California, across the desert Southwest, and then across the southern United States. At the same time, this next shot of cold air is coming south. So cold air in place, a mechanism to lift the atmosphere and bring precipitation, which could fall as frozen stuff across Texas. So if we were to get some winter weather here, it would be during the day on Saturday and then into Saturday evening and overnight Saturday night. So the wintry mix is possible. Right now it looks like if we're going to get anything, it's going to be very light, and the chance would be not for snow, but for sleet and freezing rain, the not so much fun stuff like we had last January. And if we were to get the ice, it's bridges and overpasses in the area that could be impacted and cause us travel impacts here, and then much heavier ones where the ice would be heavier further north toward Dallas. As far as our confidence, it looks very likely we'll get cold rain Saturday night. Will it change over to some ice and sleet? Somewhere between low and moderate forecast confidence right now. So the same goes for the travel impacts, therefore. Power outages. To get power lines to come down, or really limbs to come down on power lines, you need a coating of freezing rain that turns to ice that's about 1/4 to a 1/2 inch thick. And at the moment, I don't see that much ice coming down. But again, it's early. We're 4 or 5 days out from this, so we'll be watching the forecast really carefully for its evolution over the next several days. Here's where we stand as far as the precipitation forecast. Big picture, we're going to dig down a little more detailed here in a minute. But this is Friday evening. There's cold rain and drizzle for Houston. We're above freezing. They're dropping to or below freezing northeast Texas. That's the I-20 corridor right there, Dallas to Shreveport, that could begin to be impacted with some ice. That's the pink. That's sleet and freezing rain. The purple would be snow, and the green is rain. That's Friday evening. Friday night into Saturday morning, 6:30 Saturday morning. The colder air heads further south. Looks like by Saturday morning it's still north of our immediate area. We're in the 40s, cold rain, and they're getting ice and sleet and freezing rain Waco to Dallas to Lufkin. That's when travel could really go downhill across northeast Texas. We'll go into Saturday afternoon, and it's possible that temperatures could support a little bit of a very light frozen mix, sleet, freezing rain, north of I-45 Saturday afternoon, and going into the overnight Saturday night, perhaps from I-45 northward again. That would be the best chance for some light frozen mix. South to the coast, it looks like it will stay in liquid form. And then Sunday morning, it would all be coming to an end. So that's the basic timing on what we're looking at going into the coming weekend, Friday night, Saturday, and into Sunday morning. So what about specifically snow? So this is only the fluffy white snow stuff, and the Euro suggests quite a bit's going to fall from the Panhandle to Oak City to Little Rock. Little Rock, they're putting in 2 feet of snow. That may be a little overdone, but that's what the Euro's suggesting could happen with snow. We would not get any snow. Same thing with the American. It puts the snow Oklahoma into Arkansas, maybe an inch in Dallas. No snow here, but again, we could be getting the ice part of it, just sleet and freezing rain. And the European model puts in a slight chance for a very light frozen mix from I-10 to about Huntsville and northward. And then you get north of Madisonville, and that's a lot more of an ice potential there, that stretch of I-45. There's I-35, and you see the I-20 corridor. I have been on this I-20 corridor during an ice storm. You do not want to be on the I-20 corridor during an ice storm. I highly recommend, if you have travel plans to Dallas this weekend, that you cancel them or be ready to cancel them and monitor their forecast, because you do not want to get up when it's ice on the roads up there. That's the Euro. What about the American model? Yeah, it says we could see a little bit of ice here. I think that's a very minor amount of ice for us, but even a little bit causes the bridges and overpasses to ice up and can cause travel issues here north of I-10. But you can see the I-45 and then I-35 getting closer to Dallas and over to Shreveport. Could see much more in the way of the frozen, the ice stuff that just causes a mess with travel. Our low temperature forecast, we're in a warming trend for the next several days. Low temperatures up to 60 by Friday, and then low temperatures in the 30s and 20s Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and Monday morning as that colder air arrives out of Canada. And before we get to all of that weekend winter weather possibility, we've got some rain to go through. Here's Tuesday. This is tomorrow. We're seeing clouds thicken up. It'll be mild in the 60s. And then going into Wednesday morning, we get rain developing. So light, patchy rain Wednesday morning, and we'll see rain off and on as we head through the day on Wednesday. So whatever your plans are Wednesday, temps are mild, but at times it could be quite wet and slowing you down getting what you need to get done on your Wednesday. Looks like things may taper off a little bit Wednesday night. Temperatures. So these are current temps. Here we are at 59 at Bush, 4 degrees in Chicago. I just talked to my brother in Chicago. They're done with winter, but winter is by far not done with them. 8 below International Falls. So that's the cold slug of air they have right now. Everything is going to reload later in the week. These are feels like temperature. This is the wind chill factor. I thought you'd just like to see how lucky we are to be in Houston. So Friday, we don't really have a wind chill. We'll be in the 60s. Friday morning, Chicago's wind chill forecast to be 24 below zero. 40 below in Duluth, feeling like 37 below Minneapolis, feeling like 41 below in Fargo, North Dakota. No thank you, no thank you, no thank you. But I know folks up there who love this, they love it, but that's what they're facing with the next shot of cold air, and this is part of the cold air that could give us the freeze and the freezing rain or sleet. Bigger picture, alerts 19 below, Kugluktuk's 11 below, and it's interesting, the cold air is really not in the right spot to give us an Arctic outbreak. It really needs to be here. Barrow, Alaska, Old Crow, and Carmax need to be 30, 40 below, and they're not right now. But north of Barrow, there is another shot of really cold air over the Arctic Circle here, where I don't have availability of some temperature guidance. Over in Siberia, it is 28 below at Severny. Belaya Gora is 18 below. Srednikolimsk is 6 below, so there is some cold air here. I really would need to see colder air here to think that we're going to get a super big Arctic outbreak. So I don't see temperatures dropping down to like 10 degrees or anything like that, but cold enough to perhaps support a little bit of snow and sleet down here, or sleet and freezing rain here. And again, right in here, there is another slug of colder air that's going to make a little further westerly track into the Klondike the next couple of days, and that is what will end up down in our neck of the woods for the weekend. Okay, Tuesday, 45, cold start. We go to 68 Tuesday afternoon. Nice day, increasing clouds tomorrow. And the extended shows that results in a rain chance on Wednesday of 60%. Off and on showers all day Wednesday, mild temps. Thursday, a 30% rain chance continues, 70. 40% rain chance Friday, 72. And then look at these temperatures going from the 70s into the 30s by the time we get into Saturday morning as that Canadian/Arctic front pushes in. 70% chance for cold rain. Will we get a mix? We'll have to wait and see exactly how that plays out. And then maybe some slick roads on Sunday. Rain chances and ice chances begin to taper off as we head through the day on Sunday. But because of the threat and the temperature drop alone will trigger a weather impact alert, just so you know, it's going to be a huge change going from Friday into Saturday and Sunday with the possibility for a little bit of an icy mix. So a great week to just stay close to the forecast. Just check in here at least once a day so you know what's going on in case that storm track changes just enough to give us a bigger threat for the ice and the travel impacts. We'll be keeping track of it here as things develop over the next several days. Have a great evening, everybody.